are live. Welcome. This is the check-in show. We got usually 4 people checking in to see how everyone is. We're going to have to check in with our missing person, as you can see, Mike Gamache, separately, just to find out where he is, how he is.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna be sending him a quick text message right now.
Okay. The goal of this is just basically to check in with everybody to make sure everyone's doing all right. There's some of the restrictions are lifting here in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
But
sorry, I sent him a message.
You send him a message. Okay.
Yeah.
I also sent him just before we went live.
Perfect.
Nudge, but
yeah. So how are you both feeling now that the restrictions are going to be quote unquote lifted?
Well, bars aren't open yet.
No, I believe the 7th. Yes, the 7th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Supposedly, but I don't think that includes all bars. I think show bars are not.
Yeah, the Nest is supposed to be open. I think it was supposed to be open this week, if I'm not mistaken. But then it got pushed.
Okay.
Yeah, it got pushed to opening either next week or the week after.
Yeah.
Okay. I still haven't received confirmation about a bar that I work at.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But I'll be ready to go when it's time to go. Just I'm worried. I mean, I got hit by Omicron. You know what? This is supposed to be uplifting and positive.
Well, no, I mean, well, no, hold on. In a way, it could be uplifting and positive because you got hit by Omicron, but like, how are you dealing with it? That could be the outcome of it. Like, how are you doing to keep yourself sane and positive as you have Omicron?
Oh, I had.
You had. Okay.
I no longer have.
Yeah, okay. So it came and went pretty.
Yeah, exactly. That's
peacefully.
A positive thing.
Yeah.
Mike's coming.
Yeah, I got it at the midpoint of December, and I luckily was only a day and a half that was ill, and I have left him.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hello, Mike.
All right.
We're talking about how Omicron 2.0 is going to be the new variant.
You're all playing a joke on me. You're not saying a word.
Damn it.
Okay, Mike cannot hear right now.
Perfect.
So he's got to check his sound.
Okay, I'm sorry I'm late, guys. I had a big problem with I had some service guy in who made me late fixing my furnace.
Okay. Well, it's good that you still have heat.
It's all that analog heat that you use, Mike.
Yeah, because actually, want to know something really funny? Hydro Quebec every year comes out.
Having a good laugh, are we?
But here's the thing: every year, Hydro Quebec comes out.
Everybody's muted themselves except me, right? So
no, Mike.
You can't hear me.
We can hear you.
You can hear me. I can't hear you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, I will leave and I'll come back in. Okay, bye-bye.
So here's the thing. So,
all right, we've got some humor. I'm laughing. Right. Yes.
So every year, Hydro Quebec comes out with a statement that is that a lot of Quebecers are using hydro are using electricity. I'm like, well, that's the whole point of Hydro Quebec. Hello, Mike.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Mike loves men.
No.
We could play this game all day.
Okay, you go to. Just a second. You keep talking, Claudio.
So So I find that funny. Every year, Hydro Quebec comes out with a solutions like, oh well, a lot of Quebecers are using hydropower this year. I'm like, yeah, well, I don't know. Like, why are you stating the obvious?
Yeah, do we have an alternative I haven't heard of?
Exactly. I mean, if I could make fire. Like a campfire, then you know what? I'll be amazed, but that's it. He just that's what I find funny. I did the comedy this past week.
How'd that go?
So on Monday night, I was at Lord William. It was fun. It was fun and weird. Like obviously, the attendance members were not was not a big number, but for what it was. it was fun. It was like an open mic. Last night I was at Melrose. It was for Tuesday
Okay, I'm not
Nights Live.
understanding what's going on here.
And now we go to Micah Mash for his daily updates.
Okay, this could be a joke on the elderly. I'm not.
I'm staying out of that. I don't want to.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not here to prank boomers.
I'm just going to this. Yeah, no. But last night was really fun. Honestly, the fact that I was able to go on stage and just try to work on some ideas, work on jokes.
Mike? I am back and I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Damn it! I was gonna say Mike loves men. Can you just imagine this entire time?
Okay,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Do you want us to go over there and program your VCR? He's waiting for us to rib him now.
I have no idea what happened. I have no idea. I did everything the way I normally do. I have never gone into the cam mic settings or anything. But when I went into there, I found that everything had been turned off. I did not do that. I don't know how it happened. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
No, Mike, you don't. Honestly, you don't have to feel you don't have to feel like a boomer about this. When I turned on my computer the first time I tried to come into Streamlabs, my camera was just black screen. So I Googled it, like MacBook black screen camera, and they're like, restart your computer, man. So
yeah,
I did it. It fixed it. Everything went well. So I'm just as boomer as you are about it.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, how do you feel about everything opening up?
Well, everything's not opening up, is it? I saw that the Nest had put out a thing that we were going to have an open mic this week, but we've been told that it has to be like later in February. So
I got an email from the Nest because it's 3 times now that this happened.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be before.
So now you get a free shot next time you go.
Yeah, whatever. And then I'm like, all right. Then now I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna send an email on Thursday and see what happens. But as I was mentioning, I already did 2 shows this past week.
Right.
Monday was fun. It was dead, but also was fun. We just got to work on some stuff. And last night it was at Melrose. It was honestly felt like it was fun. But see, when you go on stage, you forget that this lockdown happened. But when you get off stage, like, oh yeah, why did I feel weird? Oh, the lockdown happened, or it's happening.
It's sort of still semi-happening. There's still things that are sort of like they're not really open, but they're sort of open, but they're not open all the way. They're it's like
I find like when everything opens up again, we're gonna be in a limbo.
Well, it's gonna be culture shock practically. It's gonna be like,
exactly.
This is what it was like again. Oh my god.
Yeah. And last night, like it was 10 o'clock last night. I mean, every night is 10. Anyways, so it was by 10 o'clock. It felt it was 1 a.m. I'm like, oh my god, like I'm like, because I'm sure most of us are used to watching Netflix at 10 and in bed and just going and just hitting the bed early. But last night, I'm like, oh man, even Saturday night, I went to go to a friend's house who were watching our Royal Rumble. And it was at 8, but by 9, we're like, oh man, like what time is it? I look, it's like 9:30, and I'm like, feels like 2 a.m. What the heck?
Well, the scheduling from being in this quote unquote lockdown and being the distancing and all that stuff, and things are restricted and all that stuff. It's going to take some adjusting. It's going to take some adapting to what's going to be our new normal for the foreseeable future, and then maybe eventually evolving into something semi-normal, but it's going to be like stages. It's going to be like different steps along the way, and everything's going to sort of like come back gradually. And
also, I think we've become aware of how many idiots are among us.
Oh, good Lord, yes.
Yeah.
Like we spoke about last week.
Well, we did BattleCom on Monday.
I saw a bit of it.
It was a great show. But one of the battlers is in Ottawa.
Right.
So
and you hear that every minute?
No, but they could hear it from just outside their door. So their house is built well.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thank God for that, because if it was poor isolation and you live in that area, man, you better invest in some good headphones.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily saying it's we'll call them protesters because it turns out a lot of the people who are there are not truckers.
Are not truckers. Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's sort of like a hybridization of and also an amalgamation of a bunch of completely like
idiots.
Not just
disparate groups.
Groups that would never come together in a normal time, if you will.
Thank you.
But they're now sort of like, we have a commonality. Well, not really a commonality, but we sort of like want to get the message across to the same people.
Boredom, people, and then actually, it's good you brought this up because now I'm finding a lot of people on Facebook I had never heard of, like, we're gonna stand together this Saturday. I'm like, you know what? You never cared about anything, and all of a sudden I just love how even on Twitter and TikTok now this is a trend. I'm like, are you kidding me? Oh man! And then I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
Give it a couple of days, and this will be like, this will peter out. It will just it's one of these.
A lot of people.
Yes, flavor of the day. Yeah.
No, I think
it's cold. There's been basically no place for them to go to use the washroom. They basically stormed a soup kitchen.
A lot of people who
that was really, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are misinformed that are there who luckily once they saw that there was
certain elements.
Symbols of hate, they decided to leave because, like it or not, people will be like, oh, I wash my hands of it. We just have a commonality. It's like, okay, well, like weird that like Black Lives Matter didn't have a commonality that brought out Nazis. Weird that like breed-specific legislation didn't bring out Nazis. Water protectors over in like our territories never brought out Nazis. Like super weird that all these protests that we've been paying attention to that have been happening across the world don't seem to bring out Nazis. And then this one, oh, what a weird twist.
Nazis and white supremacists.
You see, if I ever go to these protests, everyone's gonna be like, and I'm like, yo, I'm here for the free food. And then I'll leave. I'll support it. I'll go there for lunch and dinner, and then after I'll get out of there.
Well, apparently if you went there for lunch and dinner, you'd be taking it from the homeless.
Yeah, that's true. But
that was a shining piece of PR right there. That was like, oh, let's get people on our side of things. Let's go and raid a homeless shelter and take their food.
The fact that the summer we saw of protests had a lot of community spirit to them, had a lot of like upliftment, had a lot of people helping each other. There was people weren't getting hurt, and people who got hurt were helped immediately and brought to like there was a lot of community in those protests.
They were throwing rocks at ambulances and paramedics. Like, how effed up are you that you throw rocks at an ambulance and paramedics who are doing their job, who are out there to ensure that somebody gets medical attention?
Yeah,
and you're going to throw rocks at these people? You're an idiot.
That's something the police would do.
Wait, hold on. I talk about this. I talk about this protest that happened.
Yes, in Ottawa.
Yeah, but there's an answer to that.
What's
that? The ambulance are disguised as Decepticons.
They're Antifa ambulances.
Yeah, they're Antifa ambulances. Yeah.
Because the Omicrons are the it's Omicrons versus Decepticons.
My favorite thing is the snake eating its tail of fear mongering that has gotten people to be like, I am terrified of Antifa, and you're like, you're scared of anti-fascism?
Yeah,
that's a weird double negative.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and if you're Antifa, does that mean you're pro-fascist?
Yeah,
that would sort of like, in logical terms, that is practically what you're saying.
That is
exactly
it.
Yeah, pro-fascist, yay!
All right, we're gonna clip that and post that.
Exactly. We're gonna go there and steal the food.
Oh my god.
Okay, one thing to be said, something that hasn't been the Terry Fox statue.
Oh God.
Yeah, but they washed it though, apparently.
After. Yeah, they apparently some people took it upon themselves to do something. Yeah, but
So there's at least some who have the element, some of those elements.
The element of civility and care for something. Terry Fox, like you can equate all these mandates protests to whatever you want, but I don't think Terry Fox going on a run to help research cancer has anything to do with mandates, government tyranny. Like the man just simply did an incredible feat to bring awareness to like a problem, an illness he had.
Actually,
leave him alone.
There was a couple statements, like the protesters did an official statement saying that they believe that Terry Fox would be on their side, and then the Terry Fox Foundation and family said Terry Fox believed in science.
Yeah.
So no, he would not have been.
No, he would not have been on your side, you idiots. Yeah.
Nah, man. But you know, it's just look. It is what it is. People want to keep protesting to go ahead,
and disrespecting the tomb of the unknown soldier. It's like the people who are represented by the tomb of the unknown soldier are people who died for your freedom to protest, but not to disgrace the symbol of somebody who made the ultimate sacrifice. That's where like there's a disconnect there that I can't.
It's bad taste.
Oh my God, it's gross. But it's just completely gross.
Yeah, it's definitely disgusting. But I don't think it is a valid form of protest. I mean, like, we have the freedom to protest. We have the freedom of we don't have freedom of speech in Canada, actually. That's something that, because we live next to the United States, we think we do.
Yeah.
There are laws and controls on our speech.
Yes, hate speech is a crime in Canada.
In the United
States, hate speech is sort of nebulous. In some places, it's a crime. In some other places, not so much.
Well, it depends. If it's inciting violence, it's a crime in the States.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's funny to me because I see a lot of Americans that are constantly online talking about Canada and just thinking, oh, look, you guys don't have free speech. And I'm like, well, your freedom of speech got a president to knock down the halls of your Congress. Like, to be honest, I'm kind of okay with not having hate speech in Canada. Kind of.
Yeah.
I kind of dig it.
I'm on board with that one. Yeah. There's that limit I'm in agreement with, Kind
of cool with it.
Freedom of speech in the States is often misrepresented.
Yes.
You have the freedom of speech to question your government. Press has a freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. Other than that, you just can't go out and you can't be libelous. You can't slander. You can't there's.
You can't. Death threats are not protected by the First Amendment. Death threats are a crime. Making death threats towards someone is a felony in the United States.
It is.
Yeah, people have an issue with the line between like freedom of speech and like freedom of consequences for what you said.
Yes.
Like they don't understand that death threats are taken seriously and hateful rhetoric can be criminalized.
Yeah, but you realize what I have around my microphone too, talking about the tomb of the unknown soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Lest we forget.
We forget. Yes, indeed. My father's a veteran, and he went to one of the Remembrance Day ceremonies at the cenotaph, and it was the highlight of his life. I mean, it was like he was so. I watched him. I saw him on television. I watched him on TV, and I was like, oh my God, he finally got his wish. Mm-hmm. He'd been the head of the region in Sorel for a number of years, and he told me, I want to go to Ottawa one day and be part of that, and he did, and I was so proud of him.
It's one of the things I've always said is that I will critique and always have an issue with the hierarchy and the structure of like the militarization of the government and its civilians. That being said, when it comes to like soldiers, people who actively serve in the military, people who are doing the job, those people are the most respectable people on the planet. They are doing something that is truly terrifying. I would never sign up for combat. Yeah. And so while I have huge criticisms against the military system, I think each and every one of our soldiers are a deeply respectable individual that needs to be recognized. Our veteran services have to be immaculate to take care of these people because it's just it's not an easy undertaking to to go to, whether or not you believe in the whole defend your country. That is the job. So that's what people sign up for. And I think that's like an immensely respectable decision for our servicemen and women.
My father was in the military for 20 years. I had two other uncles, one who served, who was actually in Germany, who was an aircraft, a jet. He worked on jet fighters, basically. He was an aircraft mechanic, and another. Yes, exactly. And and another one who was in the infantry. He was in the army. So I have three. My father and two uncles, and my nephew is in the military presently as we speak. So yeah, I never was drawn to the military because I was raised in the military. I was a military brat. I moved all over the country. I was never drawn to join the military. But when my nephew joined, I was like, yeah, this is good. It's sort of, he sort of did it as a nod to his grandfather. So it's like, yeah.
Paul, you have military family as well, right?
Yes,
I come from a very extensive military family. My father was too young to join the British military in World War II, but he was the youngest of 11, so he had 5 brothers. Who entered. One was in the forestry service, which put him in Scotland, but he lost only one brother during the war. But the thing is, AJ, you did a big blanket statement saying that all the people in the military were there. I won't say that everybody in the military gets a pass because of some things that
there's some things that happened recently.
There was a very famous murder case in Petawawa. There was the Van Doos who said, "Let's kill us in English." And killed an officer's son in Lahr, Germany. There's the entire the scandal that actually led to the it's not called disbarment, but basically the entire Canada's Airborne.
Yes, disbanded. Yeah, they were disbanded. Yeah. They were disbanded. Yeah.
So there are these things, but the military, it's a tough life.
Very tough life.
It's a good paycheck. It's not as good as it should be.
Yeah.
Andrew Evans is a comedian who's now based in Halifax. He used to be based in Toronto. He has a comedy now where he has this one great joke. He says, look, not everybody is joining the military because they want to defend their country. They're joining the military because they got their girlfriend pregnant. So it's a true kind of thing. So my dad was in for 27 years. I got a brother who was in over 35. My brother-in-law, I think, was in for about as long as well. Though both of them actually got the Meritorious Service Medal, which is pretty much one of the highest medals you can get in the military. So both of them are exemplary people who have done amazing things. So
it's one of the kind of the reasons that I try not to crap on anyone in the military. Like even myself, one of my best friends of high school, he moved on to do military service work and enjoyed it for many years. He got out and is now more vocal about how messed up it kind of was to his brain. Yeah, but for the most part, like it's just knowing. I mean, I've known a couple people like him who joined the military, and like I would never want to disparage their decision to do it. I know who they were at the time, what they were. Like it's not an easy decision to do any military work, so I definitely respect that. But like, oh yeah, of course, there's definitely going to be people who join the military to get a chance to shoot at other people that they don't like, and that's really, really upsetting. I wish there was better screening for that kind of people joining the military.
It's not just that, but the
range of people.
I have a female friend who had to leave the military just because of the toxic.
I imagine it's nuts
environment, and that's somebody who loved the military lifestyle, like wanted nothing else than to grow up to be in the military, and to have to be so disillusioned afterwards.
Yeah,
to be crushed by it, essentially.
Yeah. At the same time, the military gave my brother and my brother-in-law both the freedom to engage in civil works with the military. Like my brother-in-law helped during the peacekeeping mission that was supposed to oversee the Cambodian election, which ended up becoming a live war again.
Yeah.
He worked he got permission to, because he was what they call a mat tech, a material technician. So basically they fix everything that's not a gun or an engine.
Right.
They got permission to help rebuild the infrastructure of Phnom Penh.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a city that was emptied and destroyed and stripped of resources that people had been moving back into for 20 or 30 years. And it had open sewers in the streets.
Wow.
It didn't have proper electricity in parts of the city. And he went in and he worked to set that up. And he got
there's a lot
medal
of
from the Cambodian government as well.
Nice.
Or the Cambodian provisional government, because at the time they still didn't have the free election. He was assigned a Cambodian colonel to be his interpreter and to basically make sure that everything. And so he actually stayed with that colonel, and that colonel got his education in Moscow. And it's just it was a weird kind of thing, but something he was very proud of. So he was supposed to be, it was a 6-month mission. He was in Cambodia for 8 months because he went in the advanced and he saw the need of the city. He proposed it to his superiors. His superiors gave him the approval, and they used the resources to do that. I wish somebody would do the resources for clean water for native communities.
Indigenous communities, for sure.
Yeah.
I was just watching yesterday on the news. They were talking about how there's this reserve in northern Ontario, I believe, that has had a boil water advisory for 27 years. The girl who was talking about it, who was one of the activists, she says there's been a boil water advisory for longer than I've been alive.
Yeah,
she was like 25, and it was like, oh my God. And part of the problem is that, yes, the government is providing them with safe water, but it's all in disposable bottles. And now now they can't get rid of the trash. They're having to burn the trash, he says, which the chief of the village said is not good for the environment. He says, we want something sustainable. We want to respect the earth. Don't send us cases and cases and cases of single-use water bottles. It's defeating the purpose, So how about just making it so that you can actually treat the water that they have, because they're in Northern Ontario. Northern Ontario has tons of lakes and stuff. It's just the water has to be made safe.
They'll build pipelines for oils through the land, but a pipeline
for water.
No, it's because they don't pay taxes. It's all about the taxes.
As soon as they build a pipeline for water, it's probably 80% of it will be shunted down to the states.
Yeah, that's the other problem too. Yeah, they're just gonna.
And now my brother, he was a war crimes investigator in the former Yugoslavia. So his evidence convicted war criminals. Evidence he gathered, evidence that left scars on him.
I'd imagine.
And he also, in Afghanistan, worked to set up a community radio station. And because of how he was situated and who he was, he actually, being Canadian and not American, and tribal leaders would trust him. So the various tribal leaders, so rebroadcasting towers were being able to be set up in different communities. Now, unfortunately, with everything that has happened in Afghanistan, after he retired, he was working to help get people out.
Right.
But because he was trusted by the people, he helped set up RAN FM, which means the light, which was the first radio station to broadcast Pashto poetry and music, as well as kind of try to counteract some of the misrepresentations of the Quran that was used by the Taliban because of trying to keep the population illiterate, meant that they could say, this is what the Quran says.
Right.
And which is a absolute corruption of the Quran.
Of course. Yeah. Well, you don't have to look far. There's a lot of corruption of the Bible south of our border here.
Oh,
so
hell yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
God is with us every time.
We are digging a big hole here of
we are looking. I mean, okay. My brother-in-law, my brother are both suffer from PTSD, but they are receiving treatment.
Good. Excellent.
Good.
There's so many things like
there's also so many things that the military does that does not get the attention that it should, that does not get the recognition it merits, because they can do things in certain cases. They can do things that civilian organizations cannot, because they are in position. They have the infrastructure. They have the logistics, and they have I don't know, I wouldn't say authority, but they have sort of like people will recognize them as, these guys are here to help,
Yeah. I mean, it's I love that we have a cat on the screen. This is sort of cheering everyone up. I'm sure I'm smiling. The idea behind, but most people will point to when Toronto had the big flurry and the big flurry. The army came in to shovel.
And Mel, good old Mel Lastman there, the bad boy.
Well, in the end, we can all say it's all for the taxes. This means taxes. But I found a video on TikTok, and it was a comedy video, because how like all these protesters are like, we're fighting for your rights and stuff. Well,
fighting for freedom, the most vague.
There was a trucker from Alberta, obviously it's acted, right? He goes, well, we're fighting for the freedom and everything, and then an ethnic person, right, an immigrant's like, oh, thank you for fighting for our rights, and the native says the same thing, but the person goes, whoa, no, when I mean fighting for our rights, I mean fighting for our rights. What the hell y'all doing here? And I'm like, oh my god, this is hilarious. And the end's like. And then it ends like message for
not far off the mark, is it?
And I'm like, this is brilliantly, hilariously dumb. Like, it's clever but dumb.
Yeah, and of course, like I've seen protesters doing that thing where they're like, oh, there's indigenous people here, there's minorities here, so we can't be racist. And you're like, yeah, there's like non-racists at the protest too, like No one here is a monolith of their representation. That's not how people work.
Right. If you're carrying a Nazi flag, we kind of suspect you might be a little bit racist.
But I like it how they counter that. It's like, oh well, you know what? These Nazi flags. I don't know why I'm doing a redneck accent. I'm still gonna do it. I don't know why.
That was what that was. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, well,
that's a redneck accent for Claudio. Yeah.
Because we're here because this is what Trudeau is. He's a Nazi and a fascist, but this flag is not from us. It's to him. I'm like, right.
That's not a message.
That's why you're handing out Guy Stormer and
exactly.
And people with Panzerfaust.
It's not a message that I would want to carry to someone. Just like, oh, don't worry, this swastika I'm holding, it's not my opinion. I'm just delivering this message. Excuse me, walking down the street holding it up. This isn't me. It's just it's a message. I'm just carrying this message.
Oh no, AJ, you have to say it in a voice like, no, this is not for me. It's to someone, but I want to let you know this is not from me.
I saw a video of the protest of them being like, someone was like, look, see, they're kicking these people out, and it's just a video of a guy and like people like filming him with a Confederate flag, and he's like, he's leaving the crowd and walking out, but you don't really hear anyone saying anything. And then the person with the camera is like, yeah, he's gonna hold his head low because of this. And I'm like, guys, he's still walking away like with the flag up. Like, what a Canadian thing. Like, he's gonna hold his head in shame. We got him. It's like he's still carrying the flag at full mast.
That man,
yes, exactly.
That man is my idol.
It's also minus 20. It's minus 20. Everyone's hanging their head. It's not. He doesn't distinctively look ashamed. You've done nothing.
Or I like.
No, actually, if he was ashamed, he would actually hide the damn flag.
Yeah.
Or I like it how like everyone thinks like, oh look at that, they're dressed like Antifa. No, they're wearing ski masks minus whatever it is. I don't know about you, but if I'm walking and I get the privilege to wear a ski mask because my face is gonna be cold, I don't know. And me being whatever they're calling, it'll be the last thing on my mind. And I'm like, no, he's not Antifa. He's just cold. But you know,
now I don't. We shouldn't be surprised they're here because this protest is happening during the 5-year anniversary of the mosque shooting in Quebec.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And
that was riled up by agitators.
Yeah.
It was riled up in these kinds of political protests and agitators complaining about some kind of immigrant nest taking over.
And his inspiration was linked to the Trump rhetoric and what a lot of the radio stations, the talk radio in Quebec, were echoing. So.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, people have to pay their taxes.
I didn't take my evening medication last night. Can you guys tell?
It's okay. We're all drinking non-sugar Kool-Aid.
Yes, I'm having a nice shot of vodka here.
It's why Zap won't get out of my face. She feels the vibes and she's like, no. Let's turn this around.
Let's all look at the pretty cat.
That being said, I generally stress about all of this stuff by myself in my room alone. So even talking about it, that's so much better for my mental health personally. Just because I'm always reading about this stuff and I'm always just sitting there alone, just going, "Yep, I hate it here."
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry, Claudio.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I think it's Saturday we should go protest and just go for the wrong reasons. Everyone's like, you're part of convoy. No, I have nothing better to do at 2:00 in the afternoon. But what are we protesting about? Yeah, and then
we're protesting the cold.
Yeah. Oh my God! Can you just imagine? Yeah, we're
Have you seen the weather?
We're anti-cold. We're anti-cold.
Yeah, Trudeau.
Today's good. Today's good. It's about 0 today. It's actually not bad.
Yeah. No, we should go to Parliament and be like, Trudeau, you know what? Why don't you be useful and make it summer 365 days a year?
Turn the heating on in the country.
And then we're gonna make everyone they're confused, like, yeah, that's right. And then people can be like, no, screw this. And then they all walk away like, yeah.
Just poison the well with weird information.
Yeah. Oh my God! Can you just imagine? Or then we start telephone like those telephone games. Like I know like Trudeau has to come out, and then it's us. I'm like
Trudeau has to come out. What? He's gay?
He's gay? No.
Oh, right. Yeah, Trudeau represent.
Yes.
No. He has to come out. He has to come out like of hiding, right? But then knowing us, we're like for some reason like Trudeau's not feeling well. He has the Omicrons and the COVIDs. But then that gets messed around and someone says, yeah, Trudeau hates the cold. He's going on vacation. Like pure anarchy. Yeah.
All right. Just a quick change in subject. Wordle has been bought by the New York Times.
Yeah. That's impacting my life so much.
Well, the thing is, they say it's got to be. They're keeping it free for now.
Yeah.
That's what they said about. That's what he said about YouTube when it started, and now look at it. It's all run by propaganda taxpayers. I don't know
You're off on a tangent. I just don't understand. Claudio.
I don't know. I think I just recently got a reassessment of my my 2019 taxes. So.
Oh yeah. Oh my.
Oh. Damn it.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put like 3 years of undone taxes through TurboTax, and literally the website was like, "Oh, you're doing this at 2 a.m. You have to do it during Turbo." Yeah, I'm using a website, and it's like you have to use it during TurboTax's like active hours, business hours. I'm
my.
like a website's business hours, eh? Okay, this is the kind of company I'm dealing with.
No, I have to. No, within 2 weeks, the next 2 weeks, I have to call someone does my taxes, and I'm like, oh, I hope I don't get screwed over again. Because last year we all got screwed over. This year, I hope not.
I'm on I'm on welfare, and welfare people don't qualify for CERB because F us. And so I'm not so screwed on my taxes. I'm screwed most of the year, but not on my taxes.
Yeah.
Man, I hope I don't get screwed. Oh man, I hope I don't get screwed on my taxes this year. God damn it.
So, has anyone tried Loodle?
I heard of it. I haven't tried Loodle yet.
What's that?
It's
he
Wordle?
asked. It's Wordle,
dirty
but
words only.
Yeah.
Loodle. Oh yeah, that I'd go for.
What did you hear, Mike?
LEWDLE. So
yeah. Loodle.
Yeah.
I heard it like LOODLE. I was like, Loodle.
Yeah, I know. So
or LUDLE.
Yeah. LEWDLE.
Take LUD. Anyways, get on Ludes and do word problems.
Oh my god. There's a challenge for you.
There's a challenge. Yes. If you want to just like mess with your own mind, do Ludes and then
the answers. You'll just get it real slow.
There it is. Loodle. Hey.
There's no app. It's just a website, right?
It's just a website, just like Wordle. So there's nothing to download. It does put a cookie, so you only do it once.
All right.
I think I got today's in 2.
Nice.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna put Trump and see.
Or was that my Wordle?
I
might have got it 2.
Yeah, I saw somebody
in one.
Yeah, I saw somebody post a remark upon that, the fact that it had been sold to the New York Times, and they were saying, "Oh, great! This guy ripped off a former game show that was actually produced in Canada. He ripped off the concept, created this thing that supposedly was for his wife. Then it hit the web. It was his wife."
Okay.
He said it was for his partner, his wife.
Okay.
His wife liked word games, so he created this thing. Yeah. Well, it's in the United States. Could be sister wife.
Or cousin.
Or kids. Yeah. And so, but they said he ripped off a concept that had already been done in the 80s. On 3 different networks. There's a similar thing where it's a 5-letter word that people got to take guesses at. And it was actually a game show on TV.
I completely agree with you. And the whole time, every time you were pointing out just like some other thing that makes it kind of controversial, my brain just kept going, that's capitalism, baby.
It's
if you can repackage something that someone did 20 years ago and the New York Times is willing to spend 7 figures on it, that's capitalism, baby.
Yeah, I am loath to quote Bill Cosby on anything, but I remember on one of his earlier albums, and he was talking about how if you just took 2 pieces of wood and you nailed them together and you gave it to your mother would think, oh, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever, I will treasure this forever. And he said also, if you nail 2 pieces of wood together, you can find some idiot who will buy it from you. So yeah.
I think there might have been sort of a workaround in that it was not nonprofit.
Yeah.
And that's I think what now New York Times says they're gonna keep it free until they can find a way to get around it.
Until they can charge you a subscription service for 2 tries a day.
Yeah.
Oh, and they said they weren't going to load it with ads, which I'm sort of skeptical.
I don't know. Have you guys gone to the New York Times website recently?
Oh my God! Yeah, it's like it's like pay some more, You know, like fuck. They've got a deal for Canadian subscribers. Like it's like $1 a week. Woo!
I don't know if you guys saw it, but I've been going nuts on my Facebook, but somebody was questioning factual information and sent me off-brand YouTube website link and was like, "You have to watch the real news." And I watched it, and first of all, 140p resolution, beautiful.
Yeah.
I love watching TV on an old, like watching news on an old tube TV.
Yes, exactly. Phone. Yeah. Was it black and white?
Almost. The back button and the home button and the menu button that are on my phone, that are on your phone, was on the screen of the video that I was watching.
Ah.
So somehow it's a video of someone recording a phone, so that's interesting. But then for their subscription service, I posted a picture of it because it was too funny to me. But for their subscription service, they actually had the faceless aliens from They Live, and it said like, "Get our subscription service."
Oh yeah, I saw that. Obey.
You're like, unironically, guys. Unironically, you guys are creating fake news, poisoning the minds of the people, and you unironically have the monsters from They Live telling people to pay for your subscription service of your false information outlet. Like,
oh my goodness. Yeah, I just went to your page to take a look at it.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. Well, if ridiculous turned out to be fatal, there'd be a lot of dead people around.
Everyone's Wordle as their rank.
Star Wordle.
Yeah, Star Wordle. Oh my God, yes.
You can make a Star Wars meme out of everything. It's so multi-purpose. It's the Swiss Army knife of the movies.
You know what? Maybe I have a lot of dirty-minded friends, but there's a lot of people that like to do sort of like the sexual innuendo of Star Wars quotes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pull it, Wedge. You're not doing any good back there. Yes. I am your father.
Yes. I'm your daddy.
Oh, you can't change the words. You got to.
Oh, you got to use
them properly.
Yes,
so.
Yes, exactly.
Although if Vader had referred to himself as daddy, we'd have a whole new interpretation by now.
Yes, indeed.
That's quite the impressive bondage.
Yes.
And it's canon that it gave him pain to keep him angry.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah. We might have a sub-dom situation going on.
Yeah.
That explains why there can only be two.
Yes.
The rule of two, or the law of two.
Yeah. Oh my Lord.
Oh my goodness.
Where do we go from here?
Positive news. What kind of positive news or media or anything that anyone's enjoying?
Oh, well,
hello to people tuning in and watching.
Yes, hello. As I said when I joined and I had my little issue about not being able to hear you guys, I was late to the show and I didn't get to solve my issue for the sound thing because I had an unfortunate event happen to my furnace. Last Friday.
Oh
no, I didn't explain it completely because last Friday, my wife comes down from upstairs in the office. She comes down. She goes, "It's getting a little bit chilly in the house. Can you turn the furnace up?" And I go to turn the furnace up. I go to my thermostat. My thermostat is blank, completely blank. Doesn't show any information. Nothing. I go over to one of the registers. The blower on the furnace is working, but it's blowing cold air. And it would this weekend was damn chilly, right? I mean, it was minus 22 something on Friday. So I said, okay, this is not a good situation. What can we do? So I called up a couple of places to try and get somebody to come and take a look at my furnace or my thermostat or whatever it was that was malfunctioning. And I got somebody to come on an emergency call, of course, which cost me like a ridiculous amount of money. But it turns out it was just one little tiny little thermocouple in the furnace that was sort of like, it was malfunctioning, but he got it to start up again, and the furnace gave up, it started heating, everything came back. But he said, "I'm not sure that this unit won't fail again." So I said, okay, when can you get another unit? And it's Friday, of course, Friday evening, by the time that he got to us. And he said, "Well, I'll probably be able to get the piece for you on Monday." And I went, okay. I would like you to order, please, the piece, because I don't want to be. He said, it's running now. He says, and it probably will run for a while. He says, but it might fail again. And I said, well, I don't want that. I don't want that sort of Damocles hanging over my head. So he said, well, I'll order it for you. And on Monday, I got a call, and they couldn't get the piece until yesterday. But yesterday, the guy didn't have any spots open for me to come and install it, which was a 20-minute operation. But today he came, and of course he came and threw all of my scheduling off, and that's why I was late getting to the show and checking in.
You didn't comb your hair,
and I didn't comb my hair, and everything is a mess. I'm just a mess. So that was
I like how two of us are wearing hats to cover that problem.
Yeah, that's my good news, though, is that we have heat. We have heat. That despite we were sort of like just like holding our breaths all weekend until this thing was repaired, because we just didn't know if it was going to let go again. And
this is the
heat in Canada in the winter, kind of a necessity.
Yeah,
and apparently in Texas.
Yeah, I was gonna say that this is the first. I've lived in this apartment for like 2 winters, like my third one now.
Mm-hmm.
And every winter we kind of forget that this whole in front of me is my big bay window, and we forget that it leaks.
Oh,
really, really bad. And we have one of those old heat systems that you can't adjust in any way. It's just the building's heat.
Right.
So this is the first year that we actually, it's been getting colder and colder every single year. So this year we finally got like a tiny little space heater, and we were worried about it because those things tend to like blow fuses and stuff, but we got like a pretty good little small one, and it is just enough to keep the house from leaking cold, so we don't have to wear sweaters anymore.
Right.
Just a life changer over the last 2 years. Well, that's the thing is I woke up this morning and forgot that I had to do this. So like, this is me just like hiding my pajamas. But yeah, like I'm especially now that we're getting out of the colder days. I mean, we've got all of February ahead of us, and that gets February will trick you. Those days will drop.
Yeah.
This is this was many years ago, as in I was an early teen, I think.
Mm-hmm.
My living at my parents' place, my parents switched to wood heat. And I sort of had my brother and I built a room in the basement, and since he wasn't living there, that was my room. And we didn't think, no one thought, because we had a wood stove in the basement as well as the furnace in the basement, but we had the big wood stove upstairs, which was my dad's pride and joy, because wow, it could heat the house.
Right.
So I think it was a Saturday morning. One of my friends was coming over so we could go snowmobiling, and I wasn't upstairs yet. And so my parents said, "Oh, just go on down, go on to his room." And the light switch was like, you could flip it from the top of the stairs, and that would turn on the light in my room. So he flips on the light at the top of the stairs, and he walks down, and he finds it's kind of cold. He opens up the door, puts his hand on the wall, and there's ice.
Oh my God.
Over. I've got like a quilt over, but I had kind of big puffy hair, and there's frost on my hair.
Oh my Lord.
And that's all that's sticking out. I'm just the top of my head.
And you weren't suffering from hypothermia?
No, it's I had a homemade quilt. I had like like a 2 blankets and a sheet, and I had all crawled in underneath that, and I was warm. I was cold. I didn't even notice the light coming on because there was that many layers between
you and
my eyes
left side
and
of the world.
In the world. Good wording there, AJ.
But that's the thing is like a lot of people outside of Canada, they'll just be like, "Oh, a quilt? Like you mean a thick blanket?" And it's like, no. Come to Canada. hang out in a drafty apartment, then grab a quilt and recognize that there's magic in these fibers.
Yeah.
I have roommates. One of my roommates is from New Brunswick, and he tells a story about how his community in New Brunswick sponsored some immigrants, and they came over, and they were basically given a place to live and a car to use, and then September, October, they started wearing down-filled parkas, going, "Is this winter? Is this winter?" And they're seeing everybody still walking around in shorts, going, "No, it's just 10." and then the first cold snap, they left. They went back to where they came from. They couldn't take Canada.
Right.
I'd imagine.
Yeah. Well, we're a hardy bunch.
When I remember I think it was when Trudeau first got into office, one of like the first big. Well, it was a good thing to do, but it was very like publicly done, so it was like kind of like a half publicity stunt. But he was welcoming in the new immigrants. We had just taken in like a huge section of immigrants, and it was like mid-spring, early summer, and these people are coming in, and Trudeau and like is there, and like all these workers are like handing them these big down jackets. They got really beautiful Canada Goose jackets. Like it was a big event that we were bringing these people in.
Right.
And just to put it on record, welcome to Canada to anybody immigrating here, because like I have no problem with it. And so they're handing out these down jackets, and they're giving them, and these people are like grabbing them. They're like, thanks, but they're like, they seem a little confused, and you're thinking like, yes, you've arrived during spring and summer. Do not sell that jacket because you think you don't need it. Yes, that jacket will get you $200 like right now, but oh my God, if you are not ready for winter, that coat is
it's priceless.
It's priceless. Funny to me that they're receiving coats in summer, just thinking like, oh, it's beautiful out. Okay, that's weird. And it's like, no. In a few months, that is going to be so necessary.
There was a news story last night, and it was an immigrant mentioning that he didn't buy boots until a week after the first snowfall. Because he didn't know, and he was afraid, like, because boots are like good winter boots are expensive. He was afraid he was going to buy something that
he wouldn't use.
Or not just wouldn't use, but buy something that would break or wouldn't be effective enough, and then he'd have to buy again.
Right.
But we in Canada, we make our boots hardy.
Yeah.
My buddy gave me like standard issue Costco boots, like the standardest issue, and I've had them for years because they just like they don't break down to salt, which is the worst part.
When I was delivering mail for the last I'd say the last 10 years of my career at Canada Post, I discovered a Canadian company named Baffin that made these like sort of snowmobile boots type things. They had removable liners that you could actually buy a second pair of liners and from day to day dry out one set of liners, have a dry liner ready for you in the morning. Those boots were bloody amazing. I mean, I called them my badass Baffins. They were called Baffins, So it's like,
it can be rough to spend that like $200 on boots, but like if you drop that money here in Canada for like a good pair of winter boots, they'll last you. The biggest thing is they cut down that salt degradation. That's the biggest thing is they're built for salt.
I walking every day in boots, delivering mail. I could usually get 2 seasons, two winters out of a pair of boots like that. They were expensive, but my God, it's like. I never once
very specifically were doing a lot of walking. Lot of walking.
Yeah, and I never once had cold feet, and never once they were waterproof. They were like bulletproof boots, and they were Canadian made. I think they were made in Ontario. I can't remember the locality, but they were made in Ontario, and I was like, buy Canadian. You can't go wrong.
You can. But I actually get to meet the purchaser from a Quebec boot manufacturer because I destroyed 2 within 2 months, 2 pairs. I went. They had an air sole. It popped, and so I brought it back. I think I jumped off a stage. and I brought it back, and it was at Screaming Eagle actually. I went in Screaming Eagle. The person at the store, I didn't even have my receipt. A person said, "No, we're the exclusive in Montreal for selling that." That's all right. Yep. Here, just take another pair, and then within 2 months again, one of the pops, and it like separates the sole and like split the heel, and I come back, and the guy's going, "Oh my God, we were just talking about that happening again. The purchaser is upstairs. Can you wait?" And so that person came down to talk to me about like what I'm doing with the boots. And I'm a big guy. I walk a lot. And so I ended up going back to my favorite Docs. And
it's kind of cool. It was like one of those moments. They're like, "Wait, if you can tell us what you're doing with this shoe, we might actually be able to stop this from happening in future pairs."
Right. Yeah.
That's cool.
It was sort of crazy. But we've been doing this for over an hour at this point in time.
Yeah.
So
Claudio's falling asleep. Thank you guys for helping cheer me up.
Yeah, no problem.
And I hope you guys are doing well as well.
Yep.
All right. And everybody out there,